Hello, students. I hope all of you are well. This is the second session in our past paper questions discussion related to March 2025 historic places. In this session, I'm going to discuss question number one, part B, and how to formulate an answer appropriately for that. The objective for this session is to strategically plan our response in this question, learn a step-by-step method to plan and formulate your answer, and apply examiner expectation to boost your marks. Ultimately, the objective is to give you enough tools so that you develop your confidence when you have to structure such an answer for under time pressure. So let's get started with it. The background is that HP is a charity which aims to preserve historical sites in the country of Rhodesia. Your role is that of a senior consultant, and the time is for March 2015. We have already completed the first part of this question. Now, this is the second part. Before attempting this second part, you are required to go through this exhibit one, which is on your right side of the screen. This is the email from the chief executive officer to yourself, that is the senior consultant, and the required changes are mentioned that she proposes in order for HP to excel. Now, these three areas are mentioned in here, and based on that, these three areas, 1, 2, and 3, these are the three areas that we are going to focus upon. Question states that Theo has asked you for your views on her proposal about the remuneration and employment contracts of Executive Board of Directors before she discusses with the trustees. You're required to prepare an email, that is the required format, to HP CEO, which discusses her proposal regarding the determination of the executive director's remuneration and their employment contracts. The professional skills that are always there, marks are available for demonstrating skepticism, probe, question, and challenge. Now, uh, I'm going to give you a detailed information and background on what are the challenges and what will be the appropriate responses to that. After that, I will give you an overview of how the email will be written, and then I'll give you some final concluding points. So the first area, we need to understand the task itself. These are the three areas: benchmarking the salaries. What does she want? She wants to benchmark the salaries of key members of the executive board against the salaries in the commercial sector. This is basically triggered by leaving of a marketing director who's joined another commercial company for a higher salary. So it is in her consideration. She's contemplating that if we could benchmark the salaries with the commercial environment, even though HP is in the not-for-profit sector, the charity sector, she thinks that she will be able to retain the executive board. Then the second idea is annual bonus scheme, paying an annual bonus to the executive board, which is a percentage of the annual financial surplus. Number one, because it is a charity organization, no profits are there. The amount will be split equally amongst all the members of the board. It is not referring to their performance. Longer employment contract is the third challenge, increasing the length of service of board of director employment from 1 year to 3 years. And the idea behind it is that to motivate them to stay at HP longer. Okay, now let's discuss the first challenge and how our appropriate response should be while skeptically challenging the proposal. Number one, what is the HP's nature? The nature is that of a charity organization, and our focus is on preserving the historical site. Remember, when we are formulating our answer, the idea is the appropriate thing is to refer back uh, to the industry as well as the specific organization in question. Don't just give answers generically. So, stakeholder perception. Donors and members may well see it as a why are they donating? The idea is to use that for charitable purposes. And what you are doing, you are trying to give the salaries according to the commercial basis. Now, what is the companies with remuneration of other charities? Comparison with remuneration of other charities. This is the alternative that you are providing. Remember, you are not just challenging for the sake of challenging, you are giving an alternative as well. That will keep your email professional, as well as it will not be like an aggressive tone, or with similar activities would be more appropriate. Even paying higher than the average charity rate would need justification. In addition to that, what about the rest of the employees, their motivation and commitment? You see, directors joined HP knowing that it is a charity, and they would have joined it knowing that it is a charity and it would pay less. Number one. Number two, they would have joined because they believe in HP's mission and they are committed to the mission. That is an intrinsic motivation in itself. Then why to pay them higher? Increasing executive salary based on commercial comparisons could demotivate other employees who have lower salaries, and they are still working with you. They could achieve higher salaries elsewhere in the commercial sector, but they are working with you, and that is sort of a demotivation for them as well if you are paying the executive board on the commercial basis. Second challenge, annual bonuses. Now, what are the arguments against the bonuses for charities? Financial surplus should be used for charitable purposes, not to give directors extra reward. Secondly, giving director bonus could affect HP's reputation. Now, one, you are linking it to the charitable mission. Second, its reputation. Both are equally important. It can be argued that directors should be committed to the charity and not need bonus to motivate them, because there is already an intrinsic motivation. This is especially true if the employees are not awarded bonuses. Secondly, concern with the proposed bonus structure is based solely on financial performance of the of HP. This is just one aspect of performance. Like there could be other, like maintenance of the site maintenance and reducing expenditure on that. That is all. That could also be a measure. uh, Visitor satisfaction could also be a measure, but you are linking the bonus only with the financial performance or the surpluses. That may not be appropriate. Then performance assessment should be based. Now you are recommending improvement, just like that you are giving some alternative. Performance assessment should be based on balanced scorecard, considering the criteria which relates to all aspects of the HP's mission. Include an individual element with different weighing of criteria based on responsibilities of each director. Now you are what you are doing, you are using one size fits all. Financial surplus divided by the number of the directors. If one director is highly capable and assuming more responsibilities, why is he being paid equal to the other directors? Long term assessment, this is final alternative. Long term assessment of performance should be used, rewarding consistent performance rather than temporary increases. The third challenge, then, employment contracts itself. You see, what is the CEO's rationale? She wants to help motivate them to stay at HP. Okay, is there a potential benefit? Could be. Longer term contracts could provide security, compensating directors, because on the one side you are providing lower salaries, so you trying to compensate them with the longer term contracts. This may also prevent disruption during significant change if directors had a long term contract. Okay, fine. That seems appropriate to a bit, but what are the risks and concerns? Here comes the skepticism part. A long term contract could make it difficult to dismiss a director whose performance is inadequate, because you're not talking about the contract terms to be increased for one particular director, it is for everyone. But if director or directors are not performing well, you're bound for 3 years with them. What is the repercussion with that? Uh, Premature termination of contract could result in compensation being paid, which is a charge for non-charitable expenditure on HP's resources. Means charitable funds are again diverted away from HP's main mission. Then corporate governance best practices for listed companies suggest that directors' services contracts should not be greater than 12 months in length to limit the risk of rewarding failure. So if they are not performing well, they're still being rewarded with the 3 years contract. That does not seem appropriate and not a good corporate governance strategy. Finally, favorable treatment of directors could be contrasted with employees who are short terms of employment. That is the uh, alternative you are giving. Okay. Now I'm going to give you an overview of how your answer should be formulated. I'm not going to read through all of it. You can pause the video and check it out for yourself. It will give you an idea that what we have discussed here, how is it being applied in the answer. So your format will be that of response must be email. The tone should be professional, respectful, but still challenging. How can you achieve that? Number one, by organizing your points clearly using headings for salaries, bonus, and director contracts, and then use clear and concise language. Avoid overly aggressive or informal phrasing. And plus, with that, every challenge or recommendation must be supported by logical reasoning, number one, and where possible, link back to HP's charitable objective, number two. This will make it concise, this will make it more formal, this will make it seem reasonable and logical and not aggressive at all. And other relevant facts from the case study. And eventually, you will have a courteous close. So your possible answer could be like Chief Executive Officer from Senior Consultant, March 4, 2015, subject feedback on Executive Board remuneration and contract proposal. Dear CEO, following your request from my perspective on your adjustment to executive remuneration and employment, I providing my observations. You see, observations is this is my viewpoint. You are not saying you are all wrong and this is you should do. That's not the language you use. Strategically, you have to be tactical. So I am providing my observations. This is the first area. You're talking about the salaries. You can pause the video here and check this all out. How what we have discussed in the first challenge, how that is applied over here. Then the second part, and then the third part. In the end, you have sincerely, a courteous close is here. I would be pleased to discuss this point further at your convenience. Sincerely, senior consultant. How this is how you professionally end your email. Okay. Final tips and quick wins for the session. Context is the king. Always relate your points back to HP. It is a charity. You have to uh, keep on hammering that point, and its main mission is to preserve the sites. This is crucial for demonstrating skepticism that what you are saying, it may be fine in the commercial sector, but this is not commercial sector. Address all parts. Ensure to discuss all three challenges. Active skepticism. Don't just summarize the proposal. Actively challenge them for well reasoned arguments, and importantly, give a constructive criticism where you challenge, try to offer alternative solutions or improvement, especially for the bonus scheme. For example, you said balance scorecard or long term assessment could be used. Your communication throughout your SBL exam has to be professional. Use appropriate language, proper formatting, even if it is not requiring specifically for the communication part. Whatever answer you have to draft in whatever format, your language has to be courteous, your language has to be formal, as well as be careful of proper punctuation and paragraphing. So I hope this session was helpful for you regarding question 1 part B. In the third session, in continuation of this, I will be discussing question 1 part C with you soon enough. Thank you very much. Take care and goodbye.